Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Woodstock City Council. It is Thursday, December the 20th. We'll get right to work. Any disclosure of conflict of interest? Seeing none. Any disclosure of new business? Matters arising from the minutes? And the minutes of September 6th regular meeting? Councillor Talbot?
Thank you, Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Petter that the minutes of the regular meeting of Woodstock City Council held on September 6th, 2018 be adopted.
Thank you. Any errors or omissions? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. Next item on the agenda is additions to the agenda. Councillor Talbot?
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Petter, the following item be added to the agenda. Delegation 7B, Mark Burke, SB 18018 and ZN 81802, draft plan of subdivision Southwood Way and Stonegate Drive.
Thank you. You've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. And delegations. Our first delegation is regarding the Southgate Centre expansion, and we have David Hilderly with us. Welcome.
Thanks for the opportunity, Mayor Birch, City Councillors, staff, and members of the public. Thank you for the opportunity to provide updated information regarding the potential expansion of Southgate Centre. As Council may be aware, for the first time in history, the number of adults over the age of 65 surpassed the number of children under the age of 14. According to the 2016 Woodstock census numbers. National aging trends suggest Woodstock's demographic profile is anticipated to continue to age, particularly the baby boom generation, with a 40% increase in the next 5 years. The city can expect a greater demand for recreation facilities and opportunities oriented toward this age group. The provision of high-quality, multi-use recreation facilities are key contributors to achieving healthy lifestyles, along with economic development and sport tourism objectives. 2019 will mark 20 years since Southgate Centre's ribbon cutting at our present location. By the end of 2018, we will have a membership of well over 800 seniors and over 350 volunteers that supported our operations with 25,000 volunteer hours. On a weekly average, Southgate Centre has over 200 visits a day, and we have proven our fiscal responsibilities year after year, balancing a budget of over $850,000. In October of 2016, we first came as a delegation to City Council, introducing the idea of an expansion to Southgate Centre in partnership with the city. A year later, the Southgate Board of Directors shared site plans of the proposed expansion with City Council, and the public was also invited to view the plans. On November the 2nd, 2017, the Board of Directors returned to Council to make a formal ask for an expansion. On April the 13th, 2018, we learned that the city was to take control of Cowan Park soccer facility, and the Board of Directors respectfully withdrew our partnership and funding request for the expansion project. Southgate would explore new, cost-effective expansion options to meet our urgent priorities. Upon completion, we would return to Council for their support and partnership for a future capital expansion. In August 2018, the Southgate Expansion Committee met with CAO David Creary and Director of Parks and Recreation Brian Connors to discuss our expansion plan development. The time is now, and we are ready We are now prepared to move forward with this modified capital expansion. Our request to City Council is twofold. Southgate Centre is requesting $10,000 to fund our second expansion design proposal by Perks and Will. And secondly, we are requesting the involvement and expertise of the City of Woodstock's senior staff as we move forward through this project. Thank you for your attention to our request, and we are available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions of council? Councillor Lauder?
Not a question. I'm just thanking you, David, for your presentation. And I know how important that Southgate is to the people, and we'll certainly be looking at this. And I'm glad that you're involving our city staff with this, and hopefully everything will work out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councillor Tate?
Sorry, I'm just having little problems with my computer. Yes, thank you for bringing that forward. It's funny because I just replied to Mary today and I asked if it would be possible if we could have like one counselor and staff involved, because way back we used to have, I think it was a Southgate, before this group, a Southgate advisory board, and I think we always had a member of council, so it'd be very helpful. Everybody work together, everybody get on the same page. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councillor Accioni?
Thank you, Your Worship. To Mr. Hilderly, thank you so much. Really, all the staff, what you put together and presented to us this past week, really, the information you provided is really interesting. I had no idea about how involved, I guess, having teenage kids. I always think of youth as my first go-to, but there's a lot of really good information and certainly support Southgate Centre. So thank you for that. That was
Welcome.
very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Further questions of council? Seeing none, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And our next delegation is Mark Burke regarding the draft plan of subdivision at Southwood Way and Stonegate Drive. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment, just that we're very excited. This piece of land has been sitting or lying fallow for a good amount of time, and finally we're able to come up with a plan to put good entry-level housing into this area. That is, it's exciting because it's going to complement the area. I will leave it to staff, but I just wanted to be here just in case any members of the community had any questions that we could answer or add some context to. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions of council? Seeing none, we'll deal with that later when we get to the planning items. So, consideration of delegations. Councillor Accioni?
Moved by myself that Woodstock City Council approve the request for funding from Southgate Centre in the amount of $10,000 to contribute towards a modified capital expansion design for the building located at 191 Old Wellington Street South, and further that the funds be drawn from account 0170-51015-0519 contingency reserve, and further that staff be directed to work with the Southgate Centre Board of Directors on the expansion design proposal.
Thank you. And the seconder. Councillor Lauder. Discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. Next item on the agenda is consideration of planning reports, and we have the application for subdivision and zone change at Southwood Way and Stonegate Drive. Councillor Shapton?
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself that Woodstock City Council approve in principle the zone change application file number ZN8-18-02 submitted by Truebuilt Construction, Inc. for lands described as Lot 59, Plan 680, and Block 59, Plan 41M-162 in the City of Woodstock to rezone the subject lands from Future Development Zone FD, Special Residential Zone 1 R1-1, and Special Residential Zone 2 R2-2 to Special Residential Zone 2 R2-2 and Special Residential Zone 2 R2-SP to facilitate the proposed draft plan of subdivision and permit reduced lot areas and frontages for semi-detached dwelling units. And further, that Woodstock City Council advise County Council that the city supports the application for draft plan of subdivision file number SB 18-01-8 submitted by True Built Construction, Inc. for lands described as Lot 59, Plan 680, and Block 59, Plan 41M-162 in the city of Woodstock, consisting of 2 lots for single detached dwellings, 7 blocks for semi-detached dwellings, totaling 14 units, and an extension of Stonegate Drive, subject to the following 31 conditions of draft approval. And on the bottom, it says, 31 conditions, 1 through 32 inclusive. And further, that no comments were received from the public regarding this application.
Thank you. And the seconder, Councillor Petter. Ms. Hatchler.
Thank you. So this application is an application for a plan of subdivision and a zone change. And it's for lands located at the north of the intersection of Southwood Way and Stonegate Drive. The applicant is proposing to create a plan of subdivision that will consist of 2 lots for single detached dwellings and 7 blocks for semi-detached dwellings, totaling 14 units, as well as an extension of Stonegate Drive. The applicant is also proposing to rezone the lots 1 and 2 to R2-2 to permit reduced front yard depths and exterior side yard widths, which are consistent with the zoning of the existing residential development in the area, as well as rezone blocks 1 through 7, intended for the semi-detached dwellings, to R2 and R2 special zone to permit reduced front yard depths, exterior side yard widths, and lot frontages for a corner lot as per the R2-2 zone, as well as reduced lot frontages and areas for a semi-detached dwelling unit on an interior lot. The subject lands are a total of 1.4 acres and are currently vacant. Staff are supportive of the proposal as it's considered to be a form of infilling that promotes intensification and provides a mix of housing types to accommodate current and future residents of the regional market area, as well as it's considered to be an efficient use of lands, municipal services, and infrastructure within a designated settlement area. Additionally, staff are satisfied that the application is consistent with the low-density residential district, and as it falls within the maximum of 9 to 12 units per acre. Additionally, staff are satisfied that the request can be considered appropriate as the proposed lot area and frontages represent minor deviations from the site-specific provisions that apply to the surrounding residential area. Again, it's a form of residential intensification, and it's compatible with the existing residential development in the vicinity, consisting of singles, semis, and townhouse dwellings. The proposal includes an extension of Stonegate Drive, as I previously indicated, which would appear to improve both traffic and pedestrian movement between Athlone Avenue and Juliana Drive. And adequate municipal services, stormwater management facilities, and community facilities are also available to accommodate the proposed development. The applicant, as a condition of the approval, the applicant will be required to prepare a tree report to determine the quality of trees on the property, as well as to provide compensation to be required in exchange for such removal. In light of the foregoing, it's our opinion that the application is consistent with the provincial policy statement as well as the official plan, and is generally in keeping with the zoning in the area.
Thank you. Questions of council? Seeing none. You've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. Next item on the agenda is for the application for consent for 578 to 581 Dundas Street. Councillor Talbot.
I'll move that Woodstock Council advise the Land Division Committee that the city supports the proposal to sever the subject property, subject to the following 10 conditions.
Thank you. And the seconder, Councillor Shapton. Ms. Hatchler.
Thank you. So this application is to create a vacant residential lot, and it's for 579 and 581 Dundas Street. And I should I should let council know that after the writing of the report, the applicant found out through a survey that he in fact actually owns also this piece here. And so we have amended, or we will be amending for the Land Division Committee report, we will be amending the lot sizes, but we don't feel that further circulation is required as it's a minor amount. So the lot to be severed is currently being used as a parking lot and contains an accessory structure which the applicant has indicated will be removed. And the lot to be retained contains a multiple use 2-story building with commercial space on the ground floor and residential uses on the upper floor. And no further development is being proposed for the retained lands. The applicant has also requested to create an easement which will provide access from the lot to be retained to the lot to be severed. Staff are satisfied that the application is consistent with the provincial policy statement as it's a form of intensification and redevelopment. It's also an efficient use of land and municipal infrastructure. And since the proposal will facilitate redevelopment of the severed land, staff are of the opinion that the subject application promotes vitality and viability in the downtown. Staff are also satisfied that the proposed severance can be supported as the proposed severance will facilitate redevelopment in the downtown that will involve uses that are permitted within the central business district. The official plan policies do not specifically speak to the creation of easements serving existing and proposed uses. However, the creation of the proposed easement is not anticipated to have any adverse impacts on lands where the easement will be established. Based on the location of the retained lands within the downtown, the existing commercial building with residential units is exempt from parking requirements. But any development that occurs on the severed lands will be subject to the parking requirements and will be subject to site plan approval. As indicated previously, as indicated through agency circulation, Bell Canada requested that they have an easement over the proposed access easement as they have a line in the ground there, and so we are recommending that the easement be not only for access but also for service. In light of the foregoing, we're of the opinion that the application is consistent with the provincial policy statement, the official plan, and is consistent with the zoning bylaw.
Thank you. Questions of council? Councillor Shapton?
Thank you, Worship. More of a comment. Just want to thank Mr. Grover for purchasing this building in our downtown and for being part of the revitalization that we've been so desperate for, and for cleaning it up. Certainly appreciated, and look forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do with that building.
Further questions of council? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is correspondence, and we have a request for four-way stop at George and Beale Street from Tom Ryerson. Councillor Accioni?
Moved by myself, the Woodstock City Council refer the correspondence from Tom Ryerson requesting a four-way stop at George and Beale Street to staff for a report.
Thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Shapton. Discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Next item is parking restriction petition from Gwen Jameson. Councillor Lauder?
I'll move that Woodstock City Council refer the correspondence from Gwen Jameson regarding parking restrictions on Cromwell Street to staff for a report on options for the area.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Accioni. Discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. Next item, we have the Statement of Revenue and Expenditures and Statement of Capital Expenditures for the period ending August 31st, 2018. Councillor Accioni?
Moved by myself, the Woodstock City Council receive the Statement of Revenue and Expenditure and the Statement of Capital Expenditures for the period ending August 31st, 2018 as information.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Shapton. Discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. And next item is the 2018 Sports Wall of Fame. Councillor Shapton.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, the Woodstock City Council approve and endorse this year's inductees for the Woodstock Sports Wall of Fame as recommended by the members of the Woodstock Recreation Advisory Committee that attended the selection meeting.
Thank you, and seconded by Councillor Accioni. Discussion, Councillor Shapton.
Again, just more of a comment. I want to thank the committee. Councillor Petter and myself are fortunate to sit on that with a very dedicated group. And although it's never easy to select just a few each year, I think they've done a phenomenal job once again. And I look forward to seeing everyone at the induction ceremony.
Thank you. Further discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. Next item is the 2018 Community Grant Program. Councillor Petter.
I move that in accordance with Community Grants Policy GA003, Council allocates the following grants for the year 2018. 13th Woodstock Scouts, $5,000. Beginnings Family Services Pregnancy Care Center, $5,000. Canadian Cancer Society, $5,000. Friendly City Taekwondo Parent Student Council, $7,800. Oxford Winds Concert Band, $1,500. Victoria Quilts, $2,000. Woodstock Badminton Club, $3,000. Woodstock Dragon Boat Club, $847.50. Woodstock Fanshawe Singers, $3,000. Woodstock Legion Athletic Club, $6,000, and Woodstock Santa Claus Parade Committee, $5,000.
Thank you. And seconder, Councillor Accioni. Discussion, Councillor Petter.
Yeah, through the mayor, I'd just like to give a little background. We had, let's see, this year our slot revenue from slots for 2018 was $151,000. This entitlement period, we had a request for $179,000 from 16 eligible grant applications. In March, we awarded $83,500. That left us $68,000. We've awarded $44,000 more, which leaves us $24,000 left. We have a few that we've asked for clarification on, and a few that could come in late, so we have a little bit of reserve to work with. I would just like to thank the committee that has been so good in 4 years. This committee does so much work. There's a book that's over an inch thick that they go through on budgets and requirements and what the application's all about. They do their homework and they come prepared to the meetings, and I just want to thank Lori, Ethel, Carol, and Len for the great job they've done through the 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? Carries. Unanimous. And tonight we'll start with Councillor Talbot.
Hopefully I'll remember everything tonight, Your Worship. I just wanted to say we had the Ludington Park dedication last Wednesday, and it was great. The park is a lovely spot, and a lot of history behind went into that, so it was interesting to hear how far back it all went. I'm lucky enough this weekend to participate in Hike for Hospice. It should be a good day, and I'm sure there'll be lots of people out. Hopefully people will come. And Taste of Art on Saturday night at the Art Gallery. If you haven't got your tickets, they're $50. Should be a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Shapton.
Thank you, Worship. Just a few things this evening. I want to let everybody know that on Saturday, September 29th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the open house for our new expansion to the Woodstock Police Department will be happening. So again, Saturday, September 29th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Look forward to seeing everyone out there. And then on October the 4th, the Runway of Stars, Councillor Accioni and myself will be there. And as always, an incredible evening celebrating a phenomenal facility, WDDS, in our community, which is so important. And I just want to make a comment. I know some councillors, including myself, we've all received comments regarding the school zone safety program that was rolled out. Certainly some people don't feel it's perfected at this point. And again, we've just rolled this out, so bear with us as things happen and change potentially. But I'm still in favor of it and feel that it's better than what we had. At least we have something across the board. And I appreciate Mr. DeHaan and all the work that he's put forward to creating that and putting that through. So other than that, thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Petter.
For the first time in almost 4 years, I'm going to pass. Thank you.
Councillor Lauder.
Thank you. I attended the farm show, and it was so nice to see families there with their young children. So hopefully they're farm children, and they'll continue the farming, which is great for Oxford County. So it was just so nice to see, and all the big equipment that they could climb all over. It was quite impressive. And I will see you at the Taste of Art on Saturday night. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Accioni.
Thank you, Your Worship. Let's see, what hasn't been mentioned is the Women's Fastball Association has a tournament going on Saturday. I'm going to have the pleasure to attend the 1 o'clock. They have a skills competition. Not exactly sure what I'll be doing yet, but I'm going to have fun, I'm sure. Saturday night, Taste of Art, I am looking forward to that. That is one of the greatest events, and I really mean it. If you've never attended the Taste of Art before, I don't know if there's any tickets left. I'll be truthful right now, but that is something to make sure you put on your calendar for every year. Sunday, the 15th annual Big Car Show, Canadian Tire parking lot in support of Big Brothers Big Sisters. So hopefully to see you out on Sunday to that. Again, congratulations to the Ludington family. Beautiful park, and well suited. It was amazing to hear Ron and talk about the history of the family. That was quite interesting. Runway of Stars was mentioned. Councillor Petter and I will be attending there. That's going to be a fun night. Or Councillor Shapton, I'm sorry. Mind you. Anyways, yes. Also, Dundas Street. Nobody's mentioned yet. Dundas Street is going to be paved on the 26th. Starting on the 26th, going roughly a week. Be careful, be slow. It's going to be congested down there, and the paving stones will be removed for those that are wondering. So, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Councillor Tate.
A couple thank yous. Councillor Lauder and I are both on the library board, and we just want everybody to be aware that it was ratified and there will be no strike. I'm sure Councillor Lauder's husband will be very happy this is done, because the two of us have been just about ready to, I'm not going to comment, but I think he's had enough of us going back and forth and going back and forth. It's been extremely stressful for everybody involved. I'd like to thank our HR, Laird Crooks, our CAO for having to listen to all this, the mayor, and our clerk for all the work the past month. It's been very trying. Also, I'd like to thank Ross Gary. He was a huge help to both Connie and I to be aware of what was going on, because we weren't getting information. So the final thank you is to our staff for bringing forward reports that are full of all the information that we need to make correct decisions and correct information in the reports. It makes a huge difference, and as a counselor, it makes our job very difficult when we don't get the right information. So thank you to all our staff.
Thank you. I would like to start by saying the donations that came in at no frills for all the supplies that the provincial regulations will not allow on the Food for Friends program was just phenomenal. The response that we saw, what a caring community wanting to help their neighbors. And that continued on through to the following week with the free community table at the Museum Square. And individuals were able to come and have a snack and a drink, and all of this is volunteer time and donations. We have quite a few individuals that are transient at this point in our community. A lot of them have come here from other nearby cities, and it was very helpful. And then after that day at the community table, we even saw someone on the Sunday, which was exceptionally warm and a sunny day. We saw someone coming by handing out ice cream treats as well to all of those individuals. So big hearts in this community. Tonight we approved that next and final round of grants for the year, and one of the small ones on the list was the Rotary Dragon Boat and the festivities in Stratford. Both of our teams, I was able to be there first thing in the morning and greet them all and get some great team photos of them. I was able to stay to watch a bunch of the races. Unfortunately, I had other things to attend to, so I wasn't there for the award ceremony, but I'm giving a big shout out, which I rarely ever do, to my two oldest children, Cassandra and Ben. Great job paddling and coming in first for that Dragon Boat Festival. So with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn. Councillor Shapton, seconded by Councillor Petter. All those in favor? We are adjourned.